Testing, testing. Are we live? Are we live? Alright. Let's do this thing. Switch over. Whoa, we're live! Alright, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to RFC Live number 2. I am getting messages on my computer that are not good. Okay, they fixed. Alright, let's check the stream. How's everyone going? We've got... Who's in here? Let's check. Oh, the chat's pretty full already. We got David, Ghost, Boost to Win, Patty, Tanuki. Everyone, the whole crew's here. Alright, that's awesome. Welcome to RFC Live, guys. We are here to talk about some very interesting things this week. What I'm trying to say is I took a look back at what I did last week and how I can improve on that, and hopefully I can make a better show. I did like what I did last week, but I feel like I could do a lot better. So you guys be sure to let me know anything I can do to improve. Right now, I'm going to turn down the mic quality, or the mic volume that is, because it is giving me all kinds of red warnings. Is the sound all distorted? Yo, he's here. I'm not even going to read that message out loud, Ghost. That was yeah. Alright, we're stepping into a little dangerous territory there, but I'm not going to get into that right now. What I am going to get into is how this week went. Now, the channel... This last week was like the first week of the new changes to the channel, which is doing a live stream on Sunday and then uploading like clips on weekly. Now, views have been down, which I understand because I'm re-uploading content I already talked about. It's just in clip form instead of in stream form. So naturally, people aren't going to flock to it like they were when I was uploading videos. So I understand that, but I hope that this week people will like accept the changes to the channel. You know, a lot of people subscribed specifically for gaming content, like game streams and stuff. And doing this new format was kind of frightening. I did not expect this to go over well. But so far after this week, I think big things are going to happen to this channel. Right now, I need to focus on just improving my overall quality and just making a better effort to make a more enjoyable show. So you guys let me know what you thought. Let's check the chat right now. it's just racism. It's just racism, you know. It's typical YouTube chat right there. That is some good coffee. Speaking of what happened this week I got a new game, Mario Odyssey. I've been playing a lot of that. It's so much fun. Such a good game. But unfortunately, I've lost my Switch charger for the car. Like, I had a charger that would let you, like, use the Switch in the car if it was dead. But I lost that, so I haven't been able to play it as much. Since I play most of my Switch in the car, so. Excuse me. Just had a little sneeze there. But yeah, I suppose we should get into the main topics because, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Jake Paul stuff out of the way. I know a lot of you are probably sick of hearing Jake Paul. You've heard him on pretty much every corner of YouTube at this point, but it does need to be talked about because he has done some questionable stuff, to say the least, specifically regarding Rice Gum. Now, if you guys know me, my opinion on Rice Gum is that I do not like Rice Gum. I mean, I really don't appreciate Rice Gum and a lot of the things he's done. I don't like his content. I don't like him as a person. He just seems like a very questionable dude and someone who you should probably not hang out with. If you're like a bigger YouTuber, if I was a bigger YouTuber, I would not go out of my way to associate with him whatsoever because he's a shady dude. But Jake Paul is shadier, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, after the stuff that he did to FaZe Banks alone tells me all I need to know about Jake Paul. He's not a person you should trust. I'm going to go ahead and actually... I just noticed it's super bright. I'm going to go ahead and close my blinds because the lighting kind of sucks. And it still sucks, but okay. Alright. But back to what I was talking about. Like, Jake Paul is way shadier than RFC. There's no doubt about it. And when I saw Jake Paul go after RFC in like a sort of like just a straight up just rant, I was shocked because I did not expect, I didn't really expect that to happen because Jake Paul and RFC are in the same community. You'd think they want to work together, but to see Jake and Jake go at it against RFC really shocked me. But then as I started to think about it, it all really made sense to me. I mean, with the Content Cop, the Content Cop is, all the hype surrounding the Content Cop has definitely fallen out. But there's still a negative stance against RFC. People remember the Content Cop. It happened just a few weeks ago. So it's still fresh on people's minds. So what Jake Paul was trying to do, he was trying to jump on this opportunity while he could and just kind of sort of milk the situation to boost him. And when he saw RFC make fun of his house, he thought he thought to himself, he was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Now I have an excuse to strike so I can gain some views, some subs, and some respect in the community. The way he did it, however, is very, very questionable. He took the anti-bullying route, which, I mean, Jake Paul, really? You know, Jake Paul is not the person to be going this route and pulling this card because Jake Paul is a bully himself. I mean, he was literally a high school bully, or I believe he was like an elementary school bully, either elementary or high school. He was a bully, a literal bully. He was a literal bully, but he's also a bully online, like a cyberbully is what the term is. And so for him to just pull the bullying card is just, it's ridiculous. I mean, do people really see what he's saying and buy it? Do they see what he's saying and think, oh wow, what this guy's saying makes a lot of sense. I should listen to what this guy's saying. Like, do people really listen to that? Because, to be honest, like, you'd have to be a stone cold idiot to like hear what Jake Paul is saying, know who Jake Paul is, but still accept what he's saying and like agree with what he's saying. Like, it makes no sense to me how anyone could believe it, but for some reason people are, and I think that's a problem. That someone who's with such a strong influence is pulling the anti-bullying card because they have such a high status up there on YouTube. YouTube could listen to what Jake Paul is saying and they could start to implement more stricter rules on other YouTubers. I mean, last summer, not last summer, but the summer after that, summer 2016, they had a rule change when RFC was actually blowing up and Leafy was blowing up. And they said, okay guys, no, we're going to make it to where you can't criticize anyone. You can't say any mean things about anyone, which was ridiculous. I mean, completely infringes on freedom of speech, completely destroys the idea that everyone should be criticized. YouTube just stepped in and was like, you can't criticize anyone. Now, with this rule change, people did not like this at all, and people just ignored it, and YouTube never really made an effort of like following through and enforcing this. But I feel like with Jake Paul, he has the potential to start an uprising and to start a movement on YouTube which is anti-bullying, which I think is dangerous because we need bullies on YouTube. We need these people to we need these people on YouTube who are strict and harsh. We need the commentary community to sort of balance out the other side of YouTube, the overly positive side, the overly preachy side of YouTube. We need the bullies to be there and balance out and point out what the other side of YouTube is doing wrong. And if we don't have that, YouTube's just going to turn to crap. It's going to be a horrible website. So, RFC followed that up with a response. And I haven't seen the response, so I can't really comment on what RFC said. I did see a little bit of it, and apparently he apologized, which I think is a really weak move, but then again, I wasn't expecting anything strong to come out of RFC's mouth. So, that's what I think of the issue. I think it's dangerous that we have someone so high up on the ladder to be calling someone out for something when, in reality, they shouldn't be doing that. I mean, Jake Paul's an idiot, he's a hypocrite, and people shouldn't be listening to him. And the fact that he's using his platform to damage YouTube in such a way I think is dangerous, and we shouldn't have that. So that's what I think on the issue. Which that all really leads me into my next, the next story I wanted to discuss today, which was the whole FaZe Banks situation. Now, I'm not talking about the FaZe Banks situation that happened a few months ago with the whole assaulting his assistant. What I am talking about is the situation recently where FaZe Banks dropped a video exposing Jake Paul again for some more interesting things. In fact, this is something I think is very good, because FaZe Banks is someone I admire in the YouTube community. At first, when I heard of him, I thought he was just another typical, just boring clickbait blogger, or vlogger, that is. And turns out FaZe Banks is actually a very respectable YouTuber who's not afraid to say what he wants to say and just spit it out there and be harsh. And he was very harsh with Jake Paul in this video. He was exposing Jake Paul, pointing out his hypocrisy, and just saying all the things RiceGum should have said. That's really what it was. FaZe Banks was saying all the things RiceGum should have said in a much stronger way than anything RiceGum could have formulated. It's clear, like, FaZe Banks is not an idiot. He is a very intelligent YouTuber, and he knows what he's doing. And he's definitely doing what I think is good for the community by just not being afraid to just point out and expose the bigger guys for just doing shady things and being shady people. So, what did FaZe Banks say in this video? Well, FaZe Banks, what he did accuse RiceGum for, and I saw this video last night. I actually saw it when I got back from my tournament, which I'll tell you guys a little bit about later. When I came home, I saw the video, and FaZe Banks essentially said back during the whole, like, you're assaulting my assistant situation, FaZe Banks met up with Jake Paul, and they talked it out, and Jake Paul agreed to make a video apologizing, which is weird, right? I would never expect Jake Paul to really just agree to do that, but it turns out, while he did agree to do it, he never did it. And FaZe Banks just let him get away with this because he just wanted to have the drama end, which I totally understand. I probably would have done the same thing if I were in his situation. But now with this, now that Jake Paul's directly going against his buddy RiceGum, he's feeling more free to drop all this information on RiceGum, or all this information on Jake Paul. And in doing so, he ended up exposing Jake Paul for firing his assistant, Megan Zelly, I believe is her name. He fired his assistant that he claimed FaZe Banks assaulted, which makes you wonder, why did he fire her? Was it because maybe she left? Maybe he told her to say all these things about FaZe Banks, and she was getting fed up with it, and she left. I mean, we've seen that happen before, that other guy who left Team 10 and exposed Jake Paul for lying about the whole FaZe Banks situation. It wouldn't surprise me. So that's what I think about the issue. I very much appreciate FaZe Banks for, even though he's a bigger YouTuber, he wasn't afraid to be harsh with Jake Paul and expose Jake Paul, which is something I haven't seen in a while. And I'm glad that we have YouTubers like FaZe Banks who are not afraid to correct other bigger YouTubers when they're doing something wrong. And in terms of the whole Jake Paul versus RiceGum situation, I think what Jake Paul's doing is dangerous and could lead to further rule changes on YouTube's part. Whew, that was a lot to get off my chest, but let's go ahead and check the chat. Let me open up that real quick. It's probably all just nonsense. David says, Augie, okay. Everyone on Team 10 hates Jake Paul. Yes, that's probably true. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I want Augie to bully me in bed. Scarce said Rice destroyed Jake's career. Nah, you can't destroy a YouTuber's career. That's impossible. You can damage a YouTuber's career in the long term or in the short term, but you can't just destroy it altogether. I don't know why Scarce is saying that. And even if Rice made a good response, he wouldn't have done anything to Jake Paul. In fact, let me look up Jake Paul's stats right now. Let me go ahead on the big screen real quick. Alright. Frick. Darn it. Hold on. The face cam is upside down. Yeah, I've made some changes to the overall stream thing here. Yeah, that's a bit big. All right. I should have fixed this beforehand, but whatever. All right, let's open up PC. There we go. All right, let's check Jake Paul's stats. Whoops, favorites. All right, Jake Paul Productions. No subs lost. Yeah, what's scarce? What is scarce going on about? Look at this. He's doing better than ever before. Now let's check RFC. Yeah, RFC did take an initial sub loss, but he pretty much gained all that back, and he's going back to his 10K subs per day. So RFC has pretty much survived the content cop. He's survived the Jake Paul. So neither one of them are going to be destroyed by this. It's all about reputation. And as for iDubbbz destroyed RFC's reputation, and Jake Paul never had a reputation to begin with. So yeah, let's check RedFoxComms. Let's see how RedFoxComms is doing. We doing good? Yeah, let's get some subs here. Yeah, let's boost my ego, all right? But yeah, that's really all I wanted to showcase. Let's go back to RFC Live and go back to the chat. Taz is here. Augie, check my stats, fam. Taz, let's check Taz's stats. Thomas and Sonic 1991. Dang, dude, Taz is doing great. Look at that. He's getting 1,000 view days. Dude, Taz is doing good. I don't know why you wanted me to check your stats, but I mean, I'll do it. Augie, stop, David. This is a Catholic stream. This is a good Catholic stream. Alright, so that's basically all I want to talk about that situation. Now let's talk about some more interesting things. And that is the whole what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. Alright, let's talk about the whole double standard issue with Nintendo and gaming journalism. Now, some of you probably don't know what I'm talking about. And let me show you what I was talking about. So we're actually going to go back to the big screen over here. And we're going to go on Twitter. And let's check my feed right here. Because Premi de Remy, if you guys don't know, made some interesting tweets right here. He said, hold on, my camera's blocking this. Basically what he said in this tweet over here was that gaming journalism and gaming reviewing seems to be more biased on Nintendo's front. Now, let me show you the first picture he posted, right? He's in this he posted Sonic, or rather not Nintendo, but just hold on. Let me just read the tweet and show you. Frick, I can't read it because actually my camera is blocking it. So let me just move the camera up real quick. He said, "Man, if Mania got this level of critic bias, it would have gotten a 10. Look at the difference between user and critic scores in the game." Shaking my head. So basically, what he's saying is that there seems to be very clear reviewer bias for gaming, like in the mainstream versus when Sega does it. Because in here, look at the user score. The user score is 8.6, and the Metacritic score is 8.6. So the users agree, the reviewers agree, both gave their honest opinions. Now let's look at Destiny, right? Destiny got a 5.5, and from the user score. So the users were mixed on Destiny, but the critics still gave it an 85, which shows that there might be some bias here. Now let me show you a lot of the Mario Odyssey review scores, which gets into my point with Nintendo more specifically, because I think there's some clear bias for Nintendo versus a lot of other games. So let's look up Mario Odyssey. Where'd it go? Huh? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, it just disappeared for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Alright, user score 8.8, Metacritic 97. Now that's as far as I know, no game has ever gone past 97. Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild hit 97. No game has ever gone past that. So as you can see, it gets 100 after 100 after 100. 99, 97, 95. It's absolutely crazy how you know, Nintendo like manages to get such good review scores, and to me it shows that there's some bias. And to explain that, when a lot of games come out, they're reviewed very harshly, right? Hold on, are we having some technical difficulties here? Hold on, I think my camera went out. Yeah, hold on guys, my camera went out. While I fix that, let me just go with what I was saying here, which I think Nintendo, when they release a game, they always get 100s and 90s, and the lowest a Nintendo game will ever get is around like 80. It was around like 80, an 80 or something, or a 70 if it's like really low. If it's like sort of like a mini game, then they'll review it more harshly. But whenever it's a big mainstream title, 100, 100, 100. And it just seems a bit fishy to me. It tells me that there might just be a double standard for a lot of Nintendo games, because other games, you know, will come out like Sonic Mania and they'll get an 86, which I think is a bit low. I think Sonic Mania deserves more than that. But when a Nintendo game comes out, it's a guaranteed 100. So this is just all speculation on my part. I think there's some bias that goes on, and with Mario Odyssey, don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but I don't think it's deserving of a 100. Like I don't think really, it's hard to say what game is deserving of a 100, but in my opinion, there's like some reviewer bias that goes on with Nintendo games. I want to see what you guys think. Let me check the chat, and the camera is back. Nintendo makes good games. What are you trying to say? No. What I'm saying is they make good games, but I don't see why they should get a 100 several 100s every time they like make games. Like it just seems a bit fishy to me, because like other games are reviewed very harshly, but with Nintendo it seems like, you know, oh, they can never mess up. Look up scores for Star Fox Zero. Let me do that. I think that's one that got bad scores. But see, like, hold on. Star Fox Zero. Oh, 69? Got a 69. Okay, maybe that disproves my point. I don't know. I just saw all these 10s coming in with Mario Odyssey, and I was like, that does not seem right at all, because, like, you know, it's, you know, to give a game a 10 is a very bold statement. You're saying that game is perfect. It's cream of the crop, top of the line. Absolutely, you must buy this game. And it's like, yeah, Odyssey's good, and a lot of Nintendo games are good. Excuse me, but are they deserving of like such overwhelmingly like high praise? It's like, what other gaming company consistently releases like games that get like 100s? And I know Nintendo games are good, they're the best, but I don't see why they should be flooded every time with 100. So it seems to me that there's some bias going on. Odyssey is better than Mania. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that there's bias going on in the reviews. Like every Nintendo game, 100, 100, 100, 95, 97. It's like, it's these overwhelmingly high scores. It's like, really? Is every game, like, what are the odds that that a company would release like games like all the time that consistently get such high scores? Like, yeah, they're good quality games, but like it just seems like it just reeks of bias, in my opinion. Augie, Nintendo probably makes the highest quality games on the market. Maybe. I mean, really all I play is Nintendo, so I can't really speak for a lot of other games. Like, but I mean, I don't get why like so many Nintendo games are just praised. Like, they're just overwhelmingly praised. It just seems like people are like letting their hype get to them, and they're like, oh, we gotta get it a 100. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about there. That tweet was very interesting, and I wanted to just basically like talk about something that's been bothering me for a while. I really think Nintendo is just getting overwhelming support when really yeah, they make good games, but they're not deserving of that. They're not like, you know, they don't deserve like constant 10s. Patty says it's called pandering. Yeah. That's probably what they're doing. They're probably pandering, because like if you say a negative thing, that's something I want to show you right now. Because let me go back to the screen right here. Let me show you guys something. So I wanted to go back quickly, and I'm really glad, Patty, that you brought this point up. Because I just noticed something just now. Look at the lowest review for Mario Odyssey on Metacritic. Playzine. Alright, they gave it a 75. And they said, though a really neat game, Super Mario Odyssey is an utterly underwhelming adventure for every long-term Super Mario fan in existence. See that part where they say, though a really neat game? I read this review on my phone stream back on Friday, and they gave it, I believe it was a 65. Let me go ahead and actually like load up that phone stream, because this looks fishy. I just now noticed this, and it looks just like the pandering that Patty was just talking about. So let me go over to my channel real quick. We lost a sub. It's probably one of my friends messing with me. Guys, unsubbing for the joke isn't that funny. It's like, oh, you got me. Unless it was a genuine unsub, then alright. I don't care if it was a genuine unsub, but if it was just like, oh wow, you got me. Alright, I don't know where I read this, or what part of the stream I read this, but I swear I read this review out and it was lower, and now they changed it because probably because of backlash, probably because they were pandering. It's been 32 years since Super Mario Bros. Released on the NES. Okay, I'm reading stuff here. In another language. I can't read. Yeah, let me load it here. Oh my gosh. Alright, read. Boost says low white. Exactly. It's like, okay, let's go back. They really do not. 97. I actually guessed that. I guessed to get a 97. Alright, I think this is where I get. What's the lowest review on it? A 75? A company 75. Oh, it was 75. Okay. Let me see if they
gave it a
kept that really neat part in.
What did they say? Playzine? You know, it's funny, but they said, though a really neat game, Mario Odyssey.
Oh, they did say that. Well, I just looked like an idiot there. I thought, I swear, I thought that was lower. You know, I think what the thing was is that got me is that, the other day, like, this was like a yellow, like this box was yellow and now it's green, and I swear, like, I guess like my brain was like, I was just tricking myself. Cause like I thought like they raised the score because the color was different, but apparently they didn't. So okay, all right. But that being said, pandering still does exist. But who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong on this point. But it just seems like there's a lot of pandering that goes on when reviewing Nintendo games. Augie, you're retarded. Dude, at least I bothered to look into it before making like a blind statement. Like I could have just been said, oh, screw these guys, you know, they're just pandering. I actually bothered to look into it. So, in fairness, I checked my sources, all right? Look at this vertical. Yeah, okay. So that stream basically the reason why it was vertical was like YouTube rolled out this feature where you can stream from your phone, and they rolled it out to like certain YouTubers, and I was one of those YouTubers for some reason. And so when I tried to stream on my phone, like it was like locked vertically. I think it was because I had my orientation lock on, but I'm gonna see if I can like fix that for the next phone stream, if I ever do a phone stream again. I don't know, you guys seem to like it. I'm not really sure. It got a lot of views, that's for sure. It's probably my most viewed video in about a week, so, but if you guys like those, I'll definitely do more of them, but I'll definitely try to fix the orientation. How could there be bias when not all Nintendo games get good reviews? Because when a Nintendo game does get good reviews, it's like just overwhelming. Like with Breath of the Wild, multiple 100s. Like how can a game get a 100? Like Breath of the Wild had flaws, alright? Like, there were a lot of flaws reviewers didn't make a point of like noticing. They only pinpointed on the good things, and that's bias. Here's the thing. I think this is how I can answer your question, David, because when a Nintendo game comes out that has a lot of hype surrounding it, it's going to get good reviews. But when a Nintendo game comes out that has a lot of negative press, it's going to get bad reviews. Remember that Metroid game that came out on 3DS? What was it called? Metroid Blast Ball or something? Metroid... What was that game called? It was on the 3DS. Metroid... hold on, let me look this up. Metroid... See, that Metroid game that came out on the 3DS, nobody liked it. In fact, there was a petition that wanted to get it removed. And when it came out, I guarantee you got bad reviews. What is it called? Metroid... Gosh darn it. I can't find it. What was that game called? It was Metroid Blast Ball or something? Metroid Blast Ball. Was that it? Federation Force. Okay. Metroid Prime Federation 64. See? When that game was announced, nothing but negative feedback from the fans. So reviewers were pandering and being like, oh, we'll give the game a negative score, because if we give it a positive score, then we're going to get crap. And when Mario Odyssey came out, reviewers were like, oh, if we give the game a slightly negative score, we're going to get crap, so we're just going to give it a super positive score. It's like, Mario Odyssey has problems, Breath of the Wild has problems, let's not ignore that and just give the game a 100 just for the sake of saying, you know, oh, hey, please don't hate us, we agree with you, we're pandering to you, ha ha ha. So, I guess it's not really bias that happens. It's more it's more pandering that happens. That's the problem. But yeah, that's Augie, I think you're disabled. Why? I hate when you do this, Ghost, because you always be like, oh, you're retarded, oh, you're disabled. It's like you never say why. It's like, alright. But yeah, that's all I'll really talk about in this issue, unless the chat wants to jump in. Odyssey is a 100. No, it's not. Like, Odyssey is a very good game. In fact, when I finish playing it, I'm probably gonna give it somewhere from anywhere between like a 90 to a 95. But there are flaws. Like, let's not pretend like, you know, when you give a game a 100, you're saying it's perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong. That can't happen. But that's all I'll really talk about in that issue. I've actually got to go in about half an hour because my mom's leaving and I want to say goodbye. So, what was the next thing I want to talk about? Oh yeah, speaking of Odyssey, I wanted to talk about my opinions on the game as a whole. Because, wow, Odyssey is good. I haven't finished it. I've only gotten like through like 6 kingdoms, I'd say. But what I've played so far has really impressed me. I did not expect to have this much fun with the game. But dang, it just makes me happy to play it. Like, when I play it, I immediately imagine myself just playing on the Wii, playing Mario Galaxy, and just playing after school. Like, keep in mind, I've been homeschooled my whole life. So, naturally, I would finish school a lot sooner than most people. So as soon as I was done with school, I would just rush over to my Wii, I turn it on, and I play Mario Galaxy. It was always either Galaxy or Mario Kart Wii. But when I was playing Galaxy, I was just so entranced in the world. Like, I loved listening to the music. I loved, like, fighting the enemies and stuff. Like, I was at the age when everything about gaming appealed to me. And with Odyssey, I was taken back to that time, a much simpler time in which everything seemed cool to me. Like, you know, nowadays, you know, as I've grown and matured, I've become more critical, and I've been able to pinpoint when something just isn't fun anymore. Like, anything was fun on the Wii, but with the Switch, I have a much more critical eye. Like, when I see, like, games on the Switch, you know, I immediately jump to, like, look for flaws in it, because that's just how humans are programmed. But when I was younger, I didn't think that way. I didn't have that mindset. But with playing Odyssey, it really took me back to a simpler time, and it just fills you with joy. So yeah, with Odyssey, I really want to stream it, but unfortunately, I actually can't because of some issues that came up. The soonest I can stream it is probably going to be, let me check the calendar. Probably November like 10th or something, which is going to be ages from now. But I really want to stream it, but like my schedule is just filled up. In fact, RFC Live next week, RFC Live number 3 might not happen. It might. I really don't know, because I'm going to be out like on Sunday, and I might not get back until late. And if I do, then it's not happening. So I'm going to be busy. It might be a few weeks, or at the very least 2 weeks before I come back. But getting back to the point with Odyssey, I think what my favorite thing about it is how like expansive it is. It reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild, just being thrown in this massive playground, and the game not really telling you what to do. It's like, all right, you're here. You know, what are you gonna do now? Like, instead of the game telling you, oh, you have to go do this, the game will drop you in a location. It'll be like, all right, you're here now. What are you gonna do? And it's really up for you to decide what you're going to do. Like, should I go over there? Should I explore around the area? Should I go straight to the end? Should I look for like Captain Toad? Should I look for a portal to another kingdom? Like, where do I go? And that's really, it leaves a lot of interpretation out for you. And that's something I really like about it. And another thing I really like about it is a lot of how it reminds me of, just in terms, it reminds me a lot of what I was saying last week in the sense that really Nintendo is changing as a company. They're becoming more comfortable, and they're becoming more loose. They're doing, instead of playing it safe and just, they could have made another 3D world, but instead they took something very, like, open world games do not appeal to a mass audience. Especially, hold on, my camera is breaking here. What happened? Alright, I think that'll fix itself soon. But, like, with Mario Odyssey, open world games do not appeal to a mass audience. People like games that hold their hand and play it safe. And with Nintendo, what they're doing is they're just breaking the boundaries. And they're saying, hey, forget that. We're going to give you something that the hardcore fan base is going to enjoy. And maybe some of the people in the mainstream crowd will play the game because it has Mario's face on it, and they'll end up loving it even more than if it were a 3D world too. It's a risky maneuver, but it's something that I really did not expect Nintendo to ever go back to again. And I knew, like, ever since they announced the game and they showed that chart of, like, you know, there are 2 types of Mario. They said it themselves. There are 2 types of Mario game. There's 64, there's Sunshine, and then there's Galaxy and 3D World. Like, there's the open world Mario games that just drop you in a playground and force you to do different tasks within that world. And then there's the linear Marios that give you a straightforward way and make that straight path challenging. And when, like, that's something that fans have been saying for a while, but when Nintendo themselves just came through and were like, they outlined it themselves, just like how the fans have been outlining that, I thought that was really cool, and it showed me that they really understand what the core audience wants. And that's really what my favorite part of Odyssey is. Now, I haven't finished it yet. I can't give it a score or anything like these Metacritic people. Spoiler alert, it won't be a 100, but it's definitely going to be high up there. And it's definitely something I'm glad I was able to experience. I can't believe... One of my friends just texted me a quote from one of my videos. But, getting back to the point, I can't believe, like, if you were to tell me, like, 5 years ago, Nintendo's gonna make an open-world Mario game, I would have been like, no way. Of course they're not. But they did it. And they did a good job. From what I've played, at least. They've done a good job, and I really, really appreciate that. How have you guys been enjoying Mario Odyssey? Let's check the chat. 3D World isn't even considered a 3D Mario. Yes, it is. It's technically 3D, so it is a 3D Mario. Augie looks like he's gonna rape me. Why? Isn't taking a... Augie looked Jewish? What the frick? Like, what the frick are these comments? Odyssey isn't playing it safe. People have... Wait, what? Hold on. Odyssey isn't playing it safe. People have been begging for it since 2001. The hardcore fan base has been begging for it, but not the mainstream crowd. If Nintendo were to make a new Super Mario Brothers or a new 3D Mario World, the normie audience, I guess, for lack of a better term, would eat that up. It's the hardcore fan base that they're appealing to with this. And I did not expect a large company to appeal to such a core audience. You know, Sonic needs to take notes. Not the Mania team. Sonic team themselves. They need to take notes. They need to look at what Nintendo's doing and be like, oh, hey, Nintendo is very successful in how they're treating their core audience. Maybe we should take notes. Maybe we should, you know, make a Sonic game that actually people want, like another adventure game or a better boost game, you know, with substance to it, like Unleashed. But we'll get into Sonic Forces here in a second, because the demo did come out and I want to talk about that. But Nintendo said they don't consider a 3D Mario. When did they say that? That's odd. Why would they not consider it that? That seems like that would hurt their brand more. I guess, I mean, no one's gonna buy 3D World now, so I guess they're free to say whatever they want. Some good coffee. Oh, you can capture Yoshi on the roofs of Peach's castle. Spoilers! Alright, unmodded for spoilers. Now, I'm gonna put you in timeout, David. There we go. Alright, as for... Oh, wow, that deleted every one of David's comments. I did not expect that to happen. I put you in timeout and just deleted everything you'd ever said in the stream. Alright, then. But yeah, Mario Odyssey is good. I wish I could stream it, but I probably won't be able to for a while, so... RIP. I will say one thing, though, and this is something I cannot wait to tell you guys. Absolutely cannot wait. Winter break, which will be happening for me in about 2 months. From like Christmas for about well into New Year's and like well into January, I'm gonna have a lot of time off, and I'm gonna go back to daily game streaming, just like I did over the summer. Now it might not be 3-hour streams every day, but it's definitely going to be at the very least an hour of game streaming a day. Like I said, it's a little far out into the future right now. I've got a lot of stuff to worry about before I can get thinking about Christmas break, but I really want to bring back game streaming because that's what you subbed for. So, yeah, Augie, my leg healed. That's nice. Awesome, Tanuki. I remember you came on my phone stream and you told me you messed it up. But that's awesome. Did it hurt a lot? Like, was it just like a bruise or something? Or did it actually, like, was it actually, like, painful? I haven't gotten any Power Moons. What the frick? Hold on. I lost your message. I lost your message. Frick, hold on. Oh yeah, I haven't gotten any Power Moons because I don't have the game, but soon I will. If I have to like look around, it's because my camera stand is actually covering a part of my screen. So like some messages some messages I can't see. Let's see. Oh, Radford Hound is in the group chat. Today I was playing Odyssey, but I honestly wishing I could stream it, but no capture card, boys. Dude, Ghost, you need to get a capture card. In fact, the capture cards aren't that expensive if you get like a cheap one. Let me check. Cheap capture. Well, whatever. I'll look into this later, but I'm pretty sure I know a capture card that's pretty good, but not like terrible or anything. And that's cheap. It hurt like hell. I was screaming. I'm not gonna explain how I fixed it. Dang, dude, that sounds pretty serious, but I'm glad it's healed now. All right, so we're 47 minutes into the stream, and I need to talk about forces, and then we need to take some calls if there are any calls. I see Zach is in there, so we'll definitely bring him in. But let me quickly talk about Sonic Forces, because if you guys don't know, a demo came out for Forces recently, and it's awful. I mean, I'm gonna say it like it is. It's awful. The demo itself is pretty good. There's just one small thing about it that sucks, and that is there's a 1-minute time limit on all the stages. So basically what the demo does is it gives you a modern Sonic stage, a classic boss fight, and an Avatar stage, but all 3 of these stages have a 1-minute time limit. So after 1 minute passes, it just boots you back to the title screen. Sega, every move you make with Sonic Forces, you take a step back and back and back. Like, nothing you've done with Forces has made me think like, oh wow, that was a smart move. Like, I guess bringing Shadow back was a good move, but then again, the level that Shadow was in sucked. So, it's like every step they make with Sonic Forces just seems to be like a step back. which is what I said last week again. But moving on to what I think about the demo itself. Modern Sonic's Green Hill is linear. The 3D sections are boring. The 2D section is actually pretty good. I'll give them that. Excuse me. The whole stage does not last for very long. In fact, excuse me again. The whole stage does not last for very long. It's very short and it's very uninteresting. I will say one thing though about Forces. No matter how bad it was, the level it kept me hooked. I played the demo over and over and over again, and I couldn't put the controller down. And I can't really explain why. Like the game is crap, but I kept playing it, and I kept playing it again and again. So maybe Forces will just like hook me in a way like I can't even explain. Maybe Forces will be like, you know, yeah, the game's bad, but it will hook you. You know, you'll want to do better. And maybe that's the hidden charm of Forces. Personally, I think the game is absolutely a step in the wrong direction. But I did like the Avatar stage though. That is one thing I will give the game credit for. I did enjoy that stage. I don't like the 2.5D sections. I think they're kind of uninteresting and kind of weird. But you know, the whole Avatar stage as a whole was pretty good, and the Classic Sonic boss fight was a lot of fun. But the level design, like for modern Sonic, was just so underwhelming. Like I don't get how they could mess it up. And apparently today I'm seeing a tweet. In fact, I think let's go back to the main screen for a second. I think Blue Parax, I think is his name. He showed there's just 3 level designers in this game, and they're all like super new guys. So let me check. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Intom. Alright, so look at this. Unleashed. Got all these level designers, Colors, Generations, Lost World, and then Forces. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Literally 3 level designers. And from what I hear, these guys are like super like, they're like newbies at level designing. Like this is their first time. Which, I mean, good for them if it's their first time, but Sega, what are you doing having 3 people who haven't even like learned the ropes of level design yet, making the level design for like the next mainstream Sonic? Like, you're just asking for failure. Like, what are you, who thought this was a good idea? And like, no disrespect to these guys, if this is their first time, they're doing a pretty good job. But it's their first time. Like, who put first time people at the helm of making level design for the next Sonic game? Like, everyone has to start somewhere, but have these guys work on level design in the background, and have the experienced guys make the level design for the actual games the public is going to play. And then when the new guys get good, make them do the next Sonic game. It makes no sense. No wonder the level design is underwhelming. This is their first time. This is their first time. And Sega thought it was a good idea to put first time people at the helm of the next Sonic game when Sonic's already at his lowest. Granted, Mania brought the respect for Sonic back up, but Mania wasn't made by Sonic Team. It was a fan game. Mania is a officially licensed fan game. And Sega's here thinking it's a good idea. Oh, we'll put 3 guys who haven't yet learned the whole ropes, learned what not to do, learned what to do. We're going to put these guys who don't really know what they're doing at the helm. I don't care how good their education is. That is not a good idea. And clearly, with the Forces design we've seen so far, these guys don't really know what Sonic is about in terms of level design. Now, they have made some improvements. I'll give them that. But these guys are nowhere near capable of making level design for a series that was built off of level design. The original classics, you know why people love those games so much? Aside from the physics-based gameplay, it was the level design. Expansive. It was that vertical level design. Most games had you go from point A to point B horizontally. Sonic had you go from point A to point B horizontally and vertically. It had that, and it utilized slopes so that you could gain speed. But Forces, these people were working on Forces. No disrespect to them, but they don't understand that. So why is Sega putting these guys at the helm of level design? It makes absolutely no sense. Rant aside, I will be picking up Forces, but it's absolutely insane to me how Sega thought this was a good idea. Like, how anyone in their right minds could think, yeah, we'll put these guys in charge. And I'm not trying to disrespect them. I can't make that clear enough. But why would you put unexperienced people at the helm of gameplay? Let's check what the chat's saying. They should have had an experienced guy on the team. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I can't believe they just put 3 guys who, you know, whatever. I already said that. Blue Paradox is a dummy. Is he a dummy? I don't really know who he is, but Ghost. Alright, I'm calling Augie a dummy. Oh, you got me, dude. Because he got Blue Paradox's name wrong. Did I? It's Blue Parax, right? Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, his ad is Blue Parax. Alright, but, I mean, ranting aside, you know what? I've already made my points. I don't need to repeat myself. So let's just go ahead and take our call. So let me just turn on my Discord and just bring in Zach. Zach, you're here.
Oh.
What you got, dude?
Sorry, I was actually watching the stream, not looking at Discord.
Oh, nice. So, what you got? Do you have any opinions on anything I said today?
Well, I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so this stuff, honestly, I haven't played it, so.
Yeah. Are you gonna get Switch and get Sonic Forces on it, or are you gonna like go for the PC one?
I'm getting a PS4.
Oh, oh, you have a PS4. Okay. See.
No, I'm getting one.
Oh, you're getting one. Okay. Why not get a Switch, dude?
Because the Switch is like $50 more expensive.
Oh, is it? I thought the PS4 was like. Oh, you're probably like. Oh yeah, you're probably getting like either used or refurbished. If that's.
I'm talking about the Slim, not the Pro.
Oh, the Slim. Okay. How much is the Slim actually?
Like $250, I think.
Oh, that's a good deal actually. PS4 has a good library. Like, I don't have a PS4, but before they announced the Switch, I was actually thinking about getting one. It's like the first time I've ever like contemplated getting a non-Nintendo console. But I was like, man, like, kind of envious. Like, they've got like Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely a good deal though. I hope you enjoy your PS4. And you got anything else to say?
I was gonna say that I've heard that Crash is going to be on the Switch. Maybe that might be proved wrong.
That was a rumor, and it was proved incorrect. So rip.
Oh,
yeah.
Rip.
I would kill for Crash on Switch. I'm not entirely sure how they would run it, but yeah, yeah. I mean, Taz joining that call just messed me up. But anyway, all right, dude. Thanks for calling in. Take care and good luck on your own channel, dude. Alright, let's take in Thomas. Thomas, what's up? Thomas? Alright, I guess that... well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this RFC weekly live thing, whatever I called it. And I'm going to head out now. Tomorrow I actually have to take my residual ACT test. Basically I get up at like 5 in the morning and like have to take this big test. It's gonna be a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? But I really hope I do well in it. Really hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week. I'll keep you guys updated. And that's the last thing I want to say. Before I go. Twitter I'm not very active on, but if I can't focus, Taz, you're messing me up. You know what? I'm gonna get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, but I'm not very active on Twitter, but Discord I am active on. So if you guys want to join the Discord, it's on the screen right now. You guys can go check that out. And I'm gonna head out. So I'll see you later. Peace. Where the frick did I... Oh yeah, here we are. Wait, what? I don't know how to run my show here. All right, hold on.